have Dmytro Schebetyuk and Margo.
Hello.
Welcome, guys.
Yeah, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for inviting.
Obviously, we've just seen a very powerful segment of a documentary about the stigma that disabled people in Ukraine feel. Now, some people have said that it's almost like a parallel world for people with disabilities living in Ukraine. Would you agree with that? Would you say that it's almost a parallel world?
I think it's difficult things, because in Ukraine it's really hard to travel, and even in the city. And but if you went to Azerbaijan, Baku, there's more bad. No.
And yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. Yes. Can you tell us about your initiative as well, Dostupno.ua?
Okay.
Can you tell us, because this is really interesting. I had to look at your Facebook page.
Thank you.
Okay.
So basically, it started just when we with Dmytro decided to go for sushi, and basically there were 3 steps in the building, and so Dmytro said, well, maybe we should write some kind of feedback that you should probably change it. And afterwards, the idea appeared to, first of all, check the places, the public places like cafes, whether they are or not accessible for people in wheelchairs. And the second thing, which appeared to us afterwards, that people started to ask why you will not film some videos about the life of Dmytro, just saying how he does these or that things, and actually these videos became more viral than our reports from the places. So
that's right. We actually have a few videos for you, which show you trying to get onto different curbs, which show the struggle.
Yeah, we try to show for all the people how to get in some place, and try to show that all people people with disabilities and without disabilities is equal, and we try to motivate to there's people to go outside from the home and see the world around, and to feel that feelings when you go out.
Yeah.
To basically not be isolated. I think.
Not stay at, because you may feel as if you have to stay at home, for example. Yeah. Many years ago, especially in the Soviet time, people felt that they had to stay at home.
But even now, it's many people with disabilities sitting at home and watch TV and don't know what doing other people. And
But this is basically one of the reasons why owners of the public places like cafes or wherever, they actually don't see them. So when we come to them and say, oh, make it more accessible, and they're like, why? Because there is a lot of people who never saw a person in a wheelchair. So, and it firstly brings you to the point that you need to explain why they need to make changes. And the second thing, that they actually don't know how to behave. So they try to do strange things, and it becomes awkward, even though you don't need to behave in any different ways in this situation.
Right, and it's quite important to highlight how similar really people of not depending on your ability or disability are. For example, they recently people who don't usually use wheelchairs set out to use wheelchairs to get from point A to point B in Kiev, and they made a social experiment.
Yeah, it was a Ukrainian pop star, and it was a musician who are not disabled, and they actually tried to use a wheelchair to see how difficult it was to get around the capital. And I think we have a clip of this now, actually. So we're going to show that as well very soon. And actually, you'll be able to see in a second how difficult it is, because although there are some adjustments, for example, the sidewalk might be slightly adjusted, actually these small adjustments make a lot of difference. No, do you think this is true? These small changes that they make, it makes a lot of difference.
There are some changes, and many people help us to go somewhere, and if you think you can't do this, you can ask some people for help, and try to get somewhere by yourself.
Yeah, and we can show the video now. Actually, this was an experiment that was done a while back, actually. And I mean, in the past year, have you actually seen any some particular changes in Kiev? Like, has there been progress at all in this?
There's some little progress, but for the last 1 year was very many some actions, as you say, with celebrating people, celebrities and songers, but it was not so effective as they and we think.
Okay, well, we can have a look at that video right now.
Місто, очевидно, настільки не пристосоване. От як мені зараз перейти, дорогу, якщо б я захотіла? Просто гірка, на якій можна купитися, якщо не хочеш гарантовано купитися, спробуй на цю гірку. От навіть мама, яка з колясками, це абсолютно не той розмір, який підходить навіть на дитячий візок. Зараз колеса руками.
Вибачте, будь ласка, а ви могли б допомогти піднятися?
Люди, які на візочках, зазвичай мають такий потужний торс і плечі. Дядя на великій машині, типу джипу, припаркувався рівно там, де мені треба. Ну і ось, слава Богу, у мене є друг, який мені може допомогти. Пішохідного переходу, який у нас є, це в принципі і здоровій людині нелегко перебігти за ці лічені секунди. А людині на візку треба встигнути ще з'їхати акуратно. І ось я поспішала і просто мене занесло, я вдарилася в цю штуку. Проблеми з елементарним переходом дороги, тому що навіть в тих випадках, коли з одного боку було забетоновано, бо був якийсь спуск передбачений, то я не знаю, яким місцем думала людина, яка проєктувала ці тротуари, як вона собі уявляла, що люди мусять переходити на інший бік дороги.
So your organization has basically recently celebrated its 1-year anniversary.
Kind of, we are about to, so we have a non-official one we kind of celebrated, and the official one will be on the 3rd of December, which is the day dedicated to people with disabilities. But I just want to jump in and to...
Yeah, so something that we mentioned earlier.
So continuing the thing which changed, we actually, when we started the initiative, we really wanted for the most that the owners of the places will come to us before they will do all this stuff and ask, for example, how to make it accessible. And we had few examples of that. So the most recent one was in Ivano-Frankivsk. So
in Western Ukraine,
yeah. But they actually asked us to check it on the very early stage. And I think this is the most important thing, that owners will while
communicate.
Communicate. Just ask. I mean, this is so simple to make. It's a bit wider or a bit more like the floor more flat. So, but it can be cost around more money afterwards if someone
to make the readjustments again.
Readjustments, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Right. I see. So changes have been made. Some changes are about to be made.
It's evolving, right?
It's evolving, right? It's obviously a long process, but do you personally see some changes? Do you think that there's been more awareness?
I see many changes in other parts of Ukraine, but not in Kyiv, because it's too little changes here. I don't know why that, because in Lviv you can see after months, when you didn't go there, you arrive and see, whoa, here are accessible place when the other time it wasn't. And in Ivano-Frankivsk and in Vinnytsia is really accessible city, but Kyiv we don't have.
So a lot of work yet to be
Yeah.
done, I
Yes.
guess.
And,
Well, thank you so
yeah.
much, guys, for coming
Thank
into
you.
the studio today. It was great to have you.